Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're going deep into machine learning today.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, if you're curious about machine learning, you're in the right place.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to go from, just kind of a basic understanding to like some really cool insights.
Yeah, you'll have some aha moments for sure.
Exactly.
Mm.
So to help us on this journey, we're going to be checking out this really cool article. It's from DataCamp, and it's called What is Machine Learning?
Yeah, it's a great overview.
It is. It's a really nice primer, but we're going to go deeper.
We are. We're going to extract the real golden nuggets.
So get ready.
Yes.
So speaking of golden nuggets and just diving in,
Mm.
I have to know.
Yeah.
What is machine learning? Like, how would you explain it to someone?
Yeah. The DataCamp article, it uses this analogy of teaching a computer to recognize a cat in a photo.
Okay.
And so think about with traditional programming, you would have to code every single rule, like the pointy ears,
Right.
the whiskers, the
Yeah.
fluffy tail. But with machine learning, you just feed the computer tons of cat photos.
Okay.
And it learns to recognize the patterns of what makes a cat a cat.
So instead of like a strict rule follower, it's more like a pattern detective.
Exactly. It's like teaching the computer to recognize patterns rather than giving it explicit rules.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. So the computer learns to learn, basically.
Yes, exactly. And this idea of learning from experience is what makes machine learning so powerful.
Okay, so the article mentions data is the new oil and machine learning is the engine.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
Yeah. So we are generating just an unbelievable amount of data every second of every day.
Yeah.
From, social media posts to online purchases or, GPS locations.
It's wild.
It's a crazy amount of data. And the thing is, data alone, it's just raw material.
Okay.
It's kind of like crude oil. And so machine learning is the engine that refines it into something valuable,
Okay.
like a self-driving car, for instance.
So it's not just recognizing cats in pictures. It's
Yeah.
actually turning all this raw data into useful things.
Yes, exactly. And the applications are they're endless.
Mm.
The article even talks about how machine learning is already revolutionizing healthcare, like predicting outbreaks before they happen.
Wow.
It's incredible. And in finance, forget about those clunky old fraud detection systems. Machine learning is like having a bloodhound sniffing out, suspicious transactions.
I love that analogy.
Yeah. So it's really exciting stuff.
Okay, we've only just started and I'm like already fascinated. But I got to ask.
Sure.
This is the question I think everybody wants to know.
Okay.
What's the difference between AI machine learning and deep learning?
Right. Because we hear those terms all the time.
All the time and they get all jumbled together.
Yes, they do. But there are some key differences. So think of AI as the broadest concept,
Okay.
like the umbrella term for machines doing smart things.
Okay.
Then machine learning, that's a subset of AI where computers are learning from data to make decisions or predictions. And then you have deep learning,
Okay.
which is kind of like machine learning on steroids.
Oh.
It uses these multi-layered neural networks that are inspired by the human brain
Wow.
to tackle these even more complex tasks like natural language processing.
So deep learning is like the superhero of machine learning.
You could say that, yeah, it's capable of doing some pretty amazing things like understanding human language,
Wow.
composing music,
What?
creating art. It's really incredible.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So how does machine learning actually work? I know the article mentioned a 7-step process.
Right. It's like a recipe for turning raw data into valuable insights.
Okay.
And it all starts with data collection,
Okay.
like gathering your ingredients.
Okay.
Then you have data pre-processing, which is where you're cleaning and prepping the data.
So like chopping the veggies before you put them in the pan.
Exactly. And then you choose the right machine learning model. It's kind of like picking the right pan for your dish. And there are lots of different types, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, like decision trees or neural networks.
Okay.
Then you train the model.
And that's where the magic happens.
That is where the magic happens. So you're feeding that prepped data to your model, and it's learning to recognize patterns and make predictions.
Okay.
And then you evaluate how well your model performs.
Got it.
Is it a Michelin star dish or a total disaster?
Right.
And then if it needs some tweaking, you can adjust the parameters,
Okay.
kind of like adding a pinch of salt to your recipe.
Okay. I like that.
And then finally, you deploy the model.
So it's ready to go out into the world.
Exactly.
I see. Okay, so tell me about the different types of machine learning.
Sure.
The article mentions supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning.
Yes.
What's the deal with those?
So supervised learning is kind of like learning with a teacher. You have labeled data,
Okay.
which means each input has a corresponding output.
Like our cat photo example.
Exactly. Each photo would be labeled cat or not cat.
Right.
And the model learns from this labeled data, and it can then accurately predict the output for new unlabeled photos.
So like flashcards and then a test.
Yes, exactly. Unsupervised learning is a bit different.
Right.
It's more like exploring a new city without a map. You just give the model unlabeled data,
Okay.
and it has to figure things out on its own.
So no teacher, just exploration.
Exactly. And this is really good for tasks like grouping similar data points together.
Mm.
So like if a marketing team wanted to segment their customers based on purchasing habits, unsupervised learning could do that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, no predefined labels.
Okay.
And then you have reinforcement learning,
Okay.
which is all about learning through trial and error. So think of it like training a dog with treats and scolding.
Okay.
The model interacts with its environment,
Okay.
learns by receiving rewards for good actions and penalties for bad ones.
So like playing a video game.
Yes, exactly. You're figuring out the best strategies. So it's learning from experience.
Just like we do in real life.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And this is how we teach robots to navigate complex environments.
Oh, wow.
Or algorithms to, beat grandmasters at games,
That's amazing.
like chess or Go.
Wow. Okay, so we've got these three types.
Yes.
Supervised
Unsupervised.
and reinforcement learning.
Reinforcement learning, exactly.
Wow, the things these machines can learn to do is incredible.
It really is.
It's like they're developing their own kind of intelligence.
It's fascinating. And it's not just, those futuristic applications.
Yeah.
Machine learning is quietly working its magic all around us.
Like how?
Think about the last time Netflix recommended a show you ended up loving.
Oh, yeah.
That's a machine learning in action.
It is.
Or those personalized ads that seem to know exactly what you're interested in.
Oh, yeah.
Machine learning again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like I'm living in a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But it's not all fun and games, though, right?
Right.
I remember that the article talked about machine learning being used for serious things, too.
Yes, absolutely. One area where machine learning is really making a huge impact is fraud detection.
Okay.
So banks and credit card companies are using it to identify fraudulent transactions in real time,
Wow.
saving consumers and businesses billions of dollars.
So it's like a whole army of like digital detectives.
Exactly. Speaking of detectives, did you know that machine learning is even being used in crime fighting?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, police departments are using it to analyze crime patterns and predict where crimes are more likely to occur.
They're like predicting the future.
Kind of, yeah. They're
Yeah.
using those insights to allocate resources more effectively.
That's wow. Okay, so I'm sold.
Great.
Machine learning is officially the coolest thing since sliced bread. But can we even understand how this stuff works if we're not, computer science people?
You absolutely can.
Okay, good.
And the DataCamp article does a great job of breaking down the basics. It highlights Python as the go-to language for machine learning.
Okay. Why Python?
Well, for starters, it's relatively easy to learn,
Okay.
even if you've never coded before. Plus, it has a vast library of tools that are specifically designed for machine learning,
So,
like NumPy for number crunching, Pandas for organizing data, and then scikit-learn, which is packed with all sorts of machine learning algorithms.
so like a toolbox full of specialized gadgets
Yes,
to build machine learning masterpieces.
that's a great way to put it. And the coolest thing is there are tons of resources available online to help you get started.
Oh, that's good.
The article mentions online courses and tutorials.
I'm sensing a new hobby coming on.
Yeah,
But okay,
that's great.
let's say I've mastered Python.
Okay.
I'm ready to build my own algorithms.
Awesome.
Where do I even begin?
Well, the article suggests starting with the simpler algorithms,
Okay.
like linear regression and decision trees.
Okay.
They're easier to grasp conceptually, and they'll give you a really solid foundation before you move on to the more complex stuff.
Like the neural networks.
Exactly.
Start with the basics and work your way up.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of hands-on experience.
Okay.
The article recommends tackling some beginner-friendly projects,
Oh, fun. Like what?
like predicting housing prices or classifying different types of flowers.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It is fun, and you can find tons of data sets online
Oh, cool.
that are all ready for you to play with.
So it's like a playground.
It is.
Okay, so I got to ask about jobs.
Of course.
Is there like a future in this field?
Oh, are you kidding me? The job market for machine learning experts is absolutely booming.
Wow, really?
Yeah, companies across every single industry are scrambling to find people who can harness the power of this technology.
What kind of jobs are we talking about?
Well, the article mentions data scientists,
All right.
who are like detectives,
Yeah.
uncovering hidden patterns and insights from data.
Okay.
Then you have machine learning engineers who are the master builders, who design and implement those complex machine learning systems.
Mm.
And then if you really want to push the boundaries of knowledge, there's research scientists
Right.
who are constantly developing new algorithms and techniques.
So it's not just about being a techie, it's about being creative, analytical, and a problem solver.
Exactly. And the best part is you don't need a PhD to get started.
Okay.
A lot of companies are looking for people with practical experience and a passion for machine learning.
So for anyone who's feeling inspired out there, what's the best way to break into this field?
I always recommend a combination of formal education and self-directed learning.
Okay.
So take some online courses, attend workshops, read books and articles, and most importantly, get your hands dirty with some real-world projects.
It's all about taking that leap.
It is.
This whole deep dive has been like an incredible eye-opener.
I agree. It's so fascinating.
I'm seeing the world in a completely different way. But before we get carried away with all the possibilities, there's one question that's lingering in my mind.
Okay, what's that?
What does the future hold for machine learning?
Oh, that's a big question.
It is.
But one thing's for sure, machine learning is not going away anytime soon.
It feels like it's just getting started.
Exactly. In fact, it's only going to become more powerful and more integrated into our lives.
So what should we expect to see in the coming years?
Well, the DataCamp article hints at some pretty exciting advancements.
Like what?
One area that's really interesting is the development of more sophisticated and robust AI systems.
Okay.
We're talking about AI that can reason more effectively, understand and respond to human emotions, and even exhibit a degree of creativity.
Wait, hold on. AI that can understand our feelings and be creative.
I know, right? But the research in these areas is progressing so rapidly.
Wow.
And then there's the whole realm of explainable AI.
Okay.
So as machine learning models become more complex, it's essential that we understand how they're making decisions.
Explainable AI.
Yes, making those black boxes transparent.
Why is that so important?
Because it builds trust.
Yeah.
And it ensures that these powerful technologies are used responsibly.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We need to be able to understand the reasoning behind AI-driven decisions, especially in critical areas like healthcare, finance, and criminal justice.
Right. We don't just want to blindly trust these algorithms, especially when they're making decisions that could really impact our lives.
Exactly. And then, of course, you have the ethical considerations.
Right.
As machine learning becomes more and more integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we address those potential risks and challenges.
Like what kind of risks?
Well, one concern is bias.
Okay.
If the data that's used to train these algorithms is biased, then the algorithms themselves will be biased.
Right.
Which could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
That is a scary thought.
It is.
We need to make sure these systems are fair for everyone.
Absolutely. And then there's the impact on the workforce.
Okay.
As machines become more capable of performing tasks that were previously done by humans, we have to think about how to prepare people for the jobs of the future.
So it's not about replacing humans. It's about finding ways for humans and machines to work together.
Exactly. And that requires investing in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they need to thrive in a world that's increasingly powered by AI.
Wow, there's so much to consider. It's both really exciting and a little bit daunting to think about the future of machine learning.
Definitely. But I believe that if we approach this technology with a thoughtful and responsible mindset, we can harness its power to create a better world for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We certainly have.
It feels like we've gone from like 0 to 60 on this machine learning journey.
I know, right? It's amazing how much we've talked about.
It really is. From just figuring out what all those terms mean, like AI and machine learning and deep learning,
right,
to like talking about all these real-world applications.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
It's like straight out of science fiction.
It is.
This deep dive has been a total mind bender.
Totally. And like you said, we've only scratched the surface.
I know. There's so much more to learn.
There is.
It's constantly evolving, and the future just seems limitless.
It really does. So for our listeners who are feeling inspired to learn more,
yes,
definitely check out the DataCamp article.
Yes. What is machine learning? It's such a great place to start for anyone who really wants to learn about this stuff.
It is. It's got a great overview.
We'll include a link in the show notes.
Perfect.
And for anyone who wants to take that next step,
Yeah,
DataCamp offers all these courses and resources
they do.
to help develop your machine learning skills.
Whether you're a beginner or you've been doing it for a while.
Exactly. And it's amazing how accessible this field has become.
It really is.
You don't need like a fancy degree
No,
or a supercomputer or anything like that to get started.
just some curiosity and the right resources, and you're good to go.
Exactly. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Yeah.
We've explored all these algorithms and applications.
Right.
And even like the potential risks of machine learning.
Right.
But at its core, this technology is about more than just ones and zeros.
Absolutely. It's about problem solving
Yes. Using the power of computers.
to make a real difference.
I love that. Like machine learning can revolutionize healthcare,
It can.
change how we get around,
Uh-huh.
even help us fight climate change.
It's incredible.
It really is. The possibilities are endless.
They are.
But as we're moving forward, we can't forget about the human element.
Right.
Like we need to make sure that all these powerful tools are used ethically
Definitely.
for the benefit of everyone.
Well said. That's a really important message.
So to all of our listeners out there,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive into machine learning.
It's been fun.
It has. We hope you've learned something new.
And that you're as excited about the future of this technology as we are.
So until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.